We'll stay a bit further with this story, and Abdul Rahman Abdullah Razak is the Tamale Metropolitan NATMO Director. He joins us live with more. Good afternoon, sir. How do you react to concerns about the cause of the flood, and what is your office doing about it?
Good afternoon.
Right, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So what is your office doing about the cause of the flood?
In fact, it was very sad story. And since yesterday in the night, yes.
Right, Mr. Razak, if you can turn off the volume on your television and listen to us on the phone, we would be very grateful.
Okay.
Yes, we want to know, how have you come to the victim's aid since this began?
Yes. You know, Tamale Metro NATMO is a very big metro, so it has been divided into 3 sub-metros. We have the Tamale South, Tamale Central, and Tamale Central and next sub-metro. So when it happened, I have to quickly move in, and our zonal coordinators went to the field, as it mentions, Gombini South, Gombini North, Lamakara, and other people to assess the situation, which was very bad. When we went in, the male adults which were affected were 144. 154 male adults. Female adults, 182. 182. Male child, 315. Female child, 245. Bringing the total number of victims affected to 896, which were affected. Total household, which were also affected, was 486. 486. It is a very sad situation. At Gombini North, 1 motorbike were carried away, but the victim were saved. Other properties, livestock, foodstuffs, and animals were also affected.
So what is being done immediately for these 900 affected people, Mr. Razak?
Yes, the NATMO, we have moved in. Up to now, we are even in the field assessing the situation. After we have finished, we will assess the situation and send our report to the regional. Regional is also waiting on us so that when we bring it, we will quickly go to their rescue. Majority of them have left their homes and they are at schools, and they are pairing with friends and relatives. So we have.
Isn't that your assumption, the fact that majority of them are with their friends?
No, it's not assumption. I'm saying that I am even currently at the field. Since in the morning, we have not even rested at all. We have not rested. As you can see in the picture, some houses, animals were carried away, their foodstuffs, everything. In fact, the situation is not good at all. It's not good.
So in the meantime, what do the people do?
Hello?
In the meantime, what will these 900 people do?
That is what I'm saying. We are also helping to relocate. We are trying to relocate some of the victims who were affected, who did not have a place to stay. So that is what we are inside doing, and we are consoling them.
How many have you successfully relocated, Mr. Rahman, and to where?
Currently, we have successfully relocated about 16 people. Like the Gombini, we send about 5 of them to our NATMO office who are there, and we are trying to see what the situation will happen. Then we'll relocate the others.
Thank you, Mr. Razak, for joining us. Meanwhile, some victims of the Northeast region floods are yet to receive cash donations made to them by the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, when he visited them last week. JoyNews has gathered that some of them who were housed in some schools after their homes were submerged in floodwaters are being moved back to their destroyed structures and communities. John Kweku Al-Hassan is the Northeast Regional NATMO Director, and he joins us live with more. Mr. Alasan, when are these victims receiving the cash donations from the Vice President?
Come up again.
Victims receiving the cash donations from the Vice President.
The monies were handed over to the municipal chief executive for West Mamprusi district. And there's going to be a plan because the community members and then the opinion leaders were supposed to be involved in the disbursement. And some of the monies were to be used to purchase food items to support what His Excellency the Vice President came and donated.
So when are they receiving it?
Oh, the West Mamprusi Municipal Assembly is working on that. And, you know, they have to go into the market to purchase the food items. And as I speak to you now, yesterday we also received relief items from our headquarters. And I'm just in the office trying to dispatch some to some of the victims that are camped in the schools.
So when are they receiving the monies, Mr. Alasan?
As and when they are able to purchase the food items, because the money, some of the money is going to be used to purchase food items for the victims.
I understand. I was hoping you'd give us a specific timeline.
I will not be able to tell because unless I'm just trying to send some relief items to the victims. From there, I'll move to the MCE to determine what is happening for now.
Right. Let's move on. Now, why are you allowing them to go back to the flooded communities?
We are not allowing them because, like I indicated earlier, the whole place has been inundated with water, even though the water level has receded. But even the structures that are standing there, it's not even safe for them to live in. So we have advised that for now, they should stay away from the buildings. For now, that's why we've identified schools for them to stay in. And some of them too have decided to go and stay with their relatives. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Because we have they have their relatives dotted around. So they go to stay with their relatives and come back to the community in the next day.
It's just that we have the information, Mr. Alasan, that some persons have moved back to these structures which are dangerous even for people to live in.
But my brother, we have told them the dangers involved. We have asked them to stay away from the buildings. We've identified places for them to stay in because we are concerned. So if you take the risk of going back to stay in those buildings and then something happens to you, what can we say? We don't encourage that.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Alasan. Ilyasu Tanko is our Northeast Region correspondent. He joins us live. So, Ilyasu, what we just heard the NADMO coordinator for the region tell us is that these persons have been advised not to go back to these, to their destroyed structures, and they are still going on their own volition. Have you seen any of these persons?
Well, they are not going on their own volition. I mean, this morning I'm just coming from Dimia and Gagbini, and I spoke to one of the people that they were camped at a newly constructed school in the community, but they have moved back to their houses. And I followed up to her, and she told me that they left because they are hungry there, and the condition there too is not favorable to them. They said that since Friday, when authorities came to hand over some packs of rice to them, they have not received any food supplies from the authorities. And so what they do is to, every morning, they'll move back to their damaged property, stay in there, prepare. They stay in there for several hours, actually, prepare food, feed themselves and their families sometimes before they will decide whether to move back to sleep in the school or not. But this person that I spoke to said since yesterday when she left there, today she slept in the damaged room, and she doesn't plan going back to the camp because of the situation there. So really they are being forced because of the condition at the camps to go back to their damaged property.
But Ilyasu, I'm curious, if they can find food to eat, why don't they just bring the food back to the structures where it's safe?
Well, the authorities promised to make available food supplies to them. And so some of them actually lost all their cooking utensils. Some of all their properties were washed away. And so some of them are there with only the clothes that they are having there. They have nothing. And so they were really relying on the promise by authorities to make food supplies available to them.
Elias Tanko, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.